Hey guys, and happy Sunday. Today I'm doing a combination of the 12 days of Christmas ornaments and Keep It Simple Sunday. So I will give you a little bit more information about that in a little bit. I'm going to start off with a branch from outside, or you can use a dowel rod or a popsicle stick or anything really that you want to use. And I just kind of cut it down to size. And then I'm going to be using ribbon. I have scrap ribbon, spools of ribbon. I have tons of ribbon. So I'm just going to start grabbing some and cutting some down. Now, if you don't have ribbon, you can also use like cloth and just cut it down to strips and it'll work exactly the same way. But I have tons of ribbon, as you can see here. So I figured let me use some up. So I grabbed a few different patterns and prints and colors, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out how long I want each ribbon to be cut down to. And I started off by just kind of tying it up the way that I'm going to be using it, just so that I have the exact length that I want. So as you see here, all I did was just do just a little double knot on there. And then I'm gonna take that piece off once I get the length that I want. And then I'm just going to measure all the pieces of ribbon that I'm going to use the same size. So obviously I'm repeating myself here, but that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and untie it. And I know this seems like an extra step, but I just want to make sure that I have the exact length that I need for the longest one. And then, you can go from there. But like I said, all I'm doing is just using that as a guide, and I'm going to be cutting all the ribbon the same length. Like I said, you can use a ribbon, or you can use, if you have some cute cloth or like a lot of scrap pieces of cloth, you can just take some cloth and just cut it down into strips into the sizes that you need, and that'll look just as good. So I went ahead, I got all my ribbon cut, cleaning off my little my desk there, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and start tying these pieces of ribbon onto the branch. And like I said, you can use a dowel rod, you can use a popsicle stick, you could probably even use like a straw or something like that. You just need something to tie them onto. And I'm just going through and I'm double knotting all the ribbon onto the branch there. And I'm going to fast forward through this because it's kind of monotonous. I know you're not going to want to watch me sitting here tying all these ribbon on here. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this, but I'm not going to cut it out, just so you can see kind of the process that it took. So here I am in fast forward. And this took probably about 10-15 minutes, not really sure. But I just went ahead, like I said, I just kind of chose the pattern that I wanted to use. You can kind of just do it random. If you want it to be all one color, you can obviously just do one color. Just, whatever floats your boat, however, whatever makes you happy. And like I said, I mean, this is something where you can use up scraps of anything that you have. Ribbon, uh, cloth, I mean anything that you can find. If you have like a pillowcase that you really like, I mean anything. So that is what you can use for this. And like I said, it's really simple, really easy. Even you can do these with your kids, and it'll look cute, and you can make them as small and as short or as long as you want. I used I mean, this stick was probably about 6, maybe 7 inches long. So, I mean, it was a little bit longer than maybe you would want to use for a child, because they'd probably get a little bit bored like towards the middle of it. So maybe use something a little bit shorter if you're going to be doing something like this with your children. So guys, today I'm hosting my monthly Keep It Simple Sunday challenge. I host this every month, and it's basically just doing a craft with things that you have at home, no special tools or anything like that. My co-host this month is Cindy from That Crafting Lady, and I'm so happy that she joined me this month. I'll be sure to have her information and the playlist in my description box. And if you're coming over here from the playlist or from Cindy's channel, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. And I'm also putting this in the 12 Days of Christmas Ornaments collaboration that is hosted by Mimi. Or not Mimi, well, it is Mimi, Jackie over at Crafting in Mimi's World. and I'm so happy to be hosting with her. This is the last day of the 12 days of Christmas ornaments. It's been so much fun. I haven't been able to participate every day like I wanted to, but I wanted to make sure that I joined, this last day because there's so much inspiration on this playlist. So I'm going to have Jackie's information and the playlist in my description box as well. And if you're coming over here from that playlist or from Jackie's channel, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I hope you subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment down below and let me know which playlist you're coming over from or whose channel you're coming over from. And like I said, I hope you stick around. I hope that you like my content. And again, welcome and thank you so much. So guys, what I did was I just finished putting all the ribbon on here. And again, it's so simple just to tie these on here. And I guess you could probably just tie them once, but I wanted to make sure that they stayed on here. You could probably even make little bows on here. I mean, there's so many different options that you can, to choose from, but I just wanted to keep it as simple as possible and as quick as possible. All right, so I'm just kind of adjusting everything, making sure everything is straight and on there nice. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ribbon to look like a tree. So the way that I did this was I kind of flattened everything out, and then I took my metal ruler and put it on there at an angle and just kind of adjusted all the ribbons so that they were flat and straight underneath the ruler, so that when I took my rotary cutter over it, everything was flat and even. And here it probably makes more sense once you watch what I'm doing here, which when I was done, I probably could have just done it like by hand, but it was nice because everything was kind of flat and even, and then I was just able to kind of adjust it afterwards. But this was really good to kind of get that straight cut on there. But like I said, I ended up adjusting it afterwards because some of them were too long, some of them were too short, some of them weren't at an angle enough. So see how perfectly the angle is there, how perfect the angle is there. It didn't work out as well on the other side, so I ended up having to kind of adjust it and just kind of individually cut them, as you can see here. It just didn't work out the way that I had planned. So then I just ended up kind of going over it, excuse me, afterwards. And sorry for my voice, but I've been sick and my throat is just scratchy. So I apologize for that. But yeah, so again, I'm just kind of going through, and you can use scissors, obviously, or a craft knife or whatever you have. But this rotary cutter from the Dollar Tree works perfectly for this. So here I am, like I said, just kind of cutting it down. Then I have this jar full of like beads and extra buttons and stuff. So I grabbed a couple of yellow buttons and kind of made that the star on top. But again, you don't have to do this. You can even take another piece of ribbon, tie a little bow, put it on the top there. Then I took this red and white baker's twine. I think I got this I don't even remember where I got it, but you can get it from the Dollar Tree. And I just made a little loop to put on the top so that I can hang it. You could also use some more ribbon and just make, a little loop and glue it on there, but I wanted to use the baker's twine. Excuse me. And so once I was done tying that bow up and kind of cutting it out, I got another yellow button, and all I did was hot glue that onto the other side just to kind of give it a more finished look because it was kind of just there. So I just went ahead and put the twine down, and then I took another button and put it on the back. Like I said, just so that it looks finished on both sides, because depending on where you hang it, you want it to look finished on both sides. So that's why I did that. And then once that was done, that's it. That's how easy it is. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, check out both the playlists and both the host and co-host channel. And until next time, guys, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye.